Hey guys, it's Greg Hardy here. And if you're curious about how to buy your first rental property, then you're watching the right video. In fact, this video can apply to you no matter how many rental properties you purchased before. Everyone wants to know how to buy their first rental property. I'm going to tell you, but as an added bonus, I'm not only a real estate investor, but I'm also a realtor with over 20 years of experience. So this video will cover both the viewpoint of a realtor and an investor. This video is designed to be a step-by-step guide to you buying your first rental property. So sit back, relax, and take it all in. If you're new to this channel, welcome. Real estate is one of my passions, and I have the desire to educate you on how to be successful with it as well. My goal with every video is to make you, the viewer, more educated than you were before you started watching it. Before we get started though, I ask that you like this video and subscribe to this channel. You won't be sorry, and it'll help me get this content out to more people. Real estate is one of the fastest ways to grow your wealth because unlike stocks or other investments, you don't have to have 100% of the funds up front. If you're looking to buy a duplex or a fourplex and live in one of those units, it's possible to get the property for little or no money down because you are considered an owner-occupant. You also get the added benefit of others paying your mortgage for you. But listen to me closely though. Don't buy a property where you need the rent to make the mortgage payment. If that's the case, you're buying too much home and you need to lower your budget to something that's more affordable. If you're solely looking to buy single-family properties that you won't be living in, most lenders will require you to put down around 25%. That means if you buy a property for $100,000, you would need $25,000. When my wife and I bought our properties, we put between 25 to 30% down. But putting that much down, we also got a better interest rate and more of a safety net. If you don't have that much cash laying around, save all you can and learn from what I'm about to tell you. When buying rental properties, along with putting as much money down as you can, I also recommend getting a 30-year fixed rate mortgage. There's enough variables when it comes to rental properties, and you don't need your payment to be one of them. So by having fixed payments, it makes calculating cash flow that much easier. We will discuss cash flow a little bit later on. Unless you have a big pile of cash just laying around, you're probably going to have to get a mortgage. In order to get financing for that mortgage, you're going to have a good credit score. To get the best financing, your score should be at least 740 to 750. The higher the better. If you have bad credit, I would work diligently to get that cleaned up along with any debts before buying investment properties. Lenders will view a bad credit score as a much riskier borrower, and if you're even able to get a loan, it would be at a much higher rate and cost, both of which will hurt the returns you would be able to get otherwise on the property. If you're able to get a loan, the lenders will pretty much want to know everything you've ever done as it relates to your finances and work history. They'll want paycheck stubs, tax returns for the past 2 years, employment verification, bank statements, and of course they'll run your credit, which is why it needs to be good. You can also Google "check my credit score" and several sites will show up and give you plenty of options. This step is crucial in becoming a successful real estate investor. You might not think about it this early in the process, but this is where your foundation begins. Some people you'll want in your corner is a real estate agent who is knowledgeable about not only the market, but about investment real estate too. Do they own any themselves? It brings an increased sense of comfort when an agent has been there and done that. Real estate agents have access to homes that are on the market and potentially ones that aren't. They have a vast network of other investors and agents. It's quite possible they'll even know about something before it even hits the market. They can also guide you through the entire process from start to finish. You want a good lender who is willing to work with you and give investor-friendly financing options. You'll need a good insurance agent for homeowners insurance. Now, a lot of people will just use the same insurance agent who insures their cars because they tend to get a discount for bundling them together. Another person is a home inspector. This is the person who will make sure you're not buying a money pit and will point out necessary repairs. Their job isn't to point out cosmetic repairs like paint and carpet, but major high-dollar repairs like electrical, heating and air, and roof, things like that. It's also good to establish a relationship with a closing attorney or title company, one who is accommodating to you and who will offer legal real estate advice should you need it. Also, make it a point to find a good contractor and licensed tradesmen like electricians, plumbers, heating and air. These guys are worth their weight in gold. And finally, if If you aren't managing the property yourself, you'll need a property manager. Don't just go with the one who offers the lowest percentage. There's probably a reason why they do. Some lenders will have a minimum loan amount that they'll fund, while another lender may not. So depending on the price of the home you're buying may dictate where you can go for a loan. Another thing to note is don't just use a lender because that's where you bank. They may be a great bank, but not a very good lender. Also, make sure you have your finances in order before you start looking at homes. It's not the best time to get financing when a great deal just hit the market. You'll likely miss out because several other investors already had their financing in place. What type of properties are you wanting to invest in? Single-family homes or multifamily homes like duplexes, triplexes, or fourplexes? Do you want cheaper homes that have great cash flow, or homes that may not cash flow as well but have a history of a long-term appreciation? It's very hard to have both. If at all possible, buy homes where you live or can reasonably get to. I personally like to walk in the homes, see the area, and become an expert in that market. It'll also give you an advantage over your competitors. We buy smaller 2-bed, 1-bath homes that are cheaper, but the cash flow is great. We didn't have to save up as much of a down payment, and the cost to get the homes rent ready were cheaper than they would have been on a home that was 2 to 3 times the size. All of our homes are the same square footage, which makes it easier because they all have the same size roof. We know how many boxes of flooring they need and how much paint it'll take to paint the entire inside of the home. Having a plan and sticking to it will make the process much smoother and take a lot of the guesswork out of it. Now that you have a plan, it's time to start touring the homes that you've selected. Get with your real estate agent and start looking at the properties with them by your side. By having an experienced real estate agent, they will know what a good deal is and what to look for in the home. They'll be able to spot areas of concern and guide you through the process. This is the part where a good real estate agent is critical. By them going through the home with you, they'll also be able to help you with best and worst case scenarios as it pertains to an offer and possible negotiations. In case you're not aware, the money is made when you buy the home. The better price you can get for the home, the better all the other numbers are going to look. You have to take into account all costs associated with the home. You need to factor in inspection costs like home, termite, and any other inspections you choose. At the time of the closing, you'll have the closing cost and prepaid expenses too. After you close on the home, now you have all the repair costs to get it rent ready. That may be paint, flooring, landscaping. Depending on the condition of the home, you might have some demo and remodeling. When buying an investment property, cash flow is king. You need to find out if the home is going to make you money. Determine how much you can rent it for and factor in all of your expenses. Down payment, closing cost, repair cost, monthly payment, taxes and insurance, all of it. A good rule of thumb is if the property can rent for 1% of the purchase price, it's a good deal. Since we buy cheaper homes, our rents are between 1.5% to 2%. That means if you bought a home for $100,000, it should at least rent for $1,000 a month. Let's take it a step further. Say you buy a $100,000 home and put down 25%, which is $25,000. Your monthly payment is roughly $750, which includes taxes and insurance. If you're able to rent it for $1,000 a month, that's a cash flow of roughly $250 a month. Over the course of a year, that's $3,000 in cash flow. Factoring in your $25,000 down payment and closing costs to get the loan, you're probably out of pocket between $28,000 to $29,000. So you've made $3,000 on $29,000, which is a little over a 10% return on your money. You take the cash flow amount, $3,000, and divide it by the cost of $29,000 to get that number. Say you're able to get $1,150 a month in rent. That's $400 per month in cash flow, which is $4,800 a year. Using that same formula, that's a 16.5% return. That's a big difference. Also, every year you're reducing the principal loan amount, so you're gaining equity there, and hopefully the home is going up in value too. I personally wouldn't touch a property if it didn't cash flow 12% a year. Set a number you're comfortable with and try and get that number or more. If you feel the numbers work and the cash flow is where you want it, then make an offer on the home. But remember, this is a business, so take the emotion out of it. Don't take it personal. If you can't get the property for the price you want or at a price where the numbers work, don't buy it. There will be other deals. Not every offer will work out. Again, this is where a trusted and experienced real estate agent comes into play. They'll know the contract and be able to negotiate on your behalf. They can potentially save you thousands of dollars with their skills and be one of your biggest assets. Depending on your market and current housing inventory levels will play a huge part in what's available. You might only find a couple of deals a year. That's fine. This really is about quality of the deal over quantity of the options. Once you get a home under contract, it's advisable to have it inspected by a licensed home inspector. This is where any potential defects should come to light. Anything you can have inspected, have it inspected. Look at the roof, look at the mechanicals like heating and air, plumbing, electrical, even the structural integrity of the home. These are the type of items that can turn a good deal into a bad deal very quickly. If that's the case, then it's probably best to walk away and void the contract. This is another reason to have a good real estate agent by your side. Once you've completed inspections, get estimates on what the problem areas will cost. Depending on how the offer was written, you can possibly ask or even get some credits from the seller to offset a portion of the cost to repair. Whether that's a price reduction or an allowance, anything helps. After the inspections are completed, your lender will have an appraisal done. The appraisal lets the lender know they're not loaning you more money than the home is worth. Basically view this as a yes or no appraisal. Is the home worth what you're paying? If so, the deal moves on, and if not, there's a chance the deal could fall apart. But again, your real estate agent can guide you through that part and possibly renegotiate to keep the deal together. If the appraisal is all good, the lender gives you the clear to close. This is when you get with the closing attorney or title company and sign the paperwork. This is also when you'll bring a certified check for the down payment and closing fees. And this should also be where you get the keys unless the contract stated otherwise. After the closing, the property is officially yours. This is where all those preliminary numbers pay off. By getting repairs and renovations done as soon after closing as possible to avoid any delays. Hopefully you paid attention on step 3 and found a good contractor. Their main task should be completing the repairs on time and in a solid, workmanlike manner. Remember, time is money, so stay on top of them to get finished on schedule. Always expect delays, whether it's trouble getting supplies, bad weather, the contractor going on vacation, or getting pulled to another job. These homes will get a lot of wear and tear on them. Don't go all out with granite countertops and marble floors. Use things like laminate or tile floors and no carpet. You have to replace carpet after every tenant, and that eats into your profits. You can also get countertops that look like granite but aren't. Nothing fancy here. I like to use a scuff-resistant paint on all the walls for easier cleanup. Also, if the home has a garbage disposal, take it out. Tenants seem to think that they're good for disposing of everything, including food. Before you place the property on rental sites, do yourself a favor and have professional photos taken. Professional photos are worth every penny. There's nothing more aggravating than seeing a property online with blurry photos, a finger in the way, or just being poorly lit. Spend the money and have professional photos taken. The better they look, the more prospects you'll have, and the better your chances of getting the rent price you're asking. A good property management company will include this service in their costs to rent the home for you. They will also screen the tenants, show them the home, gather deposits, and rent. If you don't want the 3 a.m. phone calls because the toilet is clogged, get a property manager. At this point, it's really up to you how many more times you want to do this. What are your goals? It's a great idea to get them paid off as soon as possible so they are cash flowing even more. This is a great strategy for long-term wealth and financial security. With that said, thank you all so much for watching. I really hope you liked this video and that you got something out of it. I encourage you to watch more videos as it relates to real estate and investing on this channel. And if you haven't already, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.